Hello, this is the Tradesight U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Thursday, the 21st and Friday, the 22nd of September, 2017. Hope you're having a good trading week. As usual, we will not do a market preview for Friday, as most of the week is played out, so this combines the last 2 days of the week. We just finished a two-day Fed meeting. The Fed did nothing as expected. Markets were dead flat as expected, unfortunately. Hopefully we get some action now that that's past us on Thursday, because it has been a slow week so far. Here's a look at the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market futures form. Again, not much action overall. Let's go through it. Crude oil up 3 cents to $50.72. That's a new 3-month high and setting up for maybe higher. Gold up $5.80 after dipping. That's not a big deal. The S&P literally closed up a point. So again, it's new highs, but it's nothing exciting. We haven't done anything. Meanwhile, the NASDAQ continues to be contained by the risk line from that 13 sell signal. NASDAQ 100 losing 17.48 points on the session. SOX down 16.38. So this is the semiconductors after closing at new highs, breakout highs, losing that already. Biotech's up 28, keeps it in this flat high range base that it has been in for a while. Here's the disappointment level. The VIX closing down 40 cents to 978. Ugh. Back into single digits on the VIX. Just horrible. This time of year is not supposed to look like this. The trend closes at 0.89. That puts the 10-day at 0.98. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the next 2 days that are going to drop off of this are about a 1.2 and then almost a 1.5 reading. Some pretty high numbers. If we get some low numbers the next 2 days on the trend, it could bring that 10-day moving average down pretty quick. And again, it's a 0.85 reading on the 10-day that gives you a sell signal on the broad market. We haven't seen that yet this year. NASDAQ volume, 2 billion shares by the close. Remember, a lot of it was we were strong early, then died off ahead of the Fed, and then surged again after the Fed a little bit, even though we didn't go anywhere in the end. Advanced decline ratio on the NASDAQ was plus 490 stocks. On the New York, plus 329. Google gains back 11 points, saving it from breaking down into that gap. Apple loses $2.66. This one suddenly, it actually swept the lows of the last month. Looks weak and back into that gap. Not good. Amazon up $3.35. Netflix down 17 cents. That's a blip on Netflix. Tesla down 119. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, up 9 cents. It's basically flat, which is interesting with the Fed announcement. Goldman up 88 cents, still in the range that it's been in for months. It's just not a lot going on. Let's look at the intraday action. There's 5-minute candles. Again, started out basically flat, tiny gap that filled early. I mean, all the way through lunch, we were in a 5-point range. Then the Fed announcement hits, takes us a little lower initially, a little bit even lower once Yellen started speaking. But then just when we thought, oh, finally, it looks like we're going to break down, we had a bunch of short calls posted, ready to go. None of them triggered, and the market recovered back to even, like nothing ever happened. NASDAQ side was a little bit weaker. Got about 50 points lower than this midday, but came back. That's why it only closed down 17. All right, so for the rest of the week, again, we're past the Fed announcement, but what do we have? We've got the weekly initial and continuing jobless claims number and the Philly Fed an hour before the bell on Thursday. We've got the FHFA Housing Price Index at 9 a.m., Bloomberg Consumer Comfort Index at 9:45, leading indicators at 10, Natty Gas report at 10:30, and then on Friday, PMI services number, and that's it. Friday probably a little slow. Let's hope for some action Thursday. We need it. We have not seen it yet this week. So even though the futures have been good to us early, it hasn't allowed us for extra calls, and the stock side has been pretty boring. It's just really unfortunate. This is a time of year where things should be moving. I think everybody has no clarity right now on what's going on with the federal budget and the healthcare situation. Until that gets resolved, markets are dead. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading Thursday and Friday and a great weekend.